these two lines are parallel, and there is another line which is intersecting these two lines. Okay, there are two lines L and M which are parallel, and there is another line which is intersecting these two lines. So this line, that blue color line, is known as transversal. The word used is transversal. So transversal is a line which intersects two given lines. Now two given lines may be parallel or may not be parallel. So transversal is always a line which intersects two given lines. So this blue line is intersecting two yellow colored line, where yellow color lines are parallel this time. If they are not parallel also, blue color line will be transversal only, because transversal is a line which intersects two given lines. Now this L, M and transversal, they form some angles. You can see over here there are 8 angles. There are 8 angles here, like this angle is another angle, this one, here also this and this. So there are 8 angles, and we have some relations between these angles. So if lines are parallel, that is if L is parallel to M, then we have certain properties. First property is corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. If L and M are parallel, then we can say that corresponding angles are equal. Now what are corresponding angles? Corresponding angles are angle 1 and angle 2. Angle 1 and angle 2 are corresponding angles. In the same way, angle 3 and angle 4 are corresponding angles. Angle 3 and angle 4 are corresponding angles. Then we have angle 5 and angle 6. We have angle 5 is equal to angle 6. These are also corresponding angles. Then we have let's take this color, 7 and this one 8. So angle 7 is equal to angle 8. Angle 7 is equal to angle 8. All these are angle 7 and this is angle 8. All of these pair of angles are corresponding angles and they are equal. Why they will be equal? When L is parallel to M. If L is parallel to M, then we can make use of all of these. That is, angle 1 is equal to angle 2, angle 3 is equal to angle 4, angle 5 is equal to angle 6, angle 7 is equal to angle 8. Now how to recognize this? Angle 1 is corresponding to angle 2. Now you see, if you watch closely, you will see that angle 1, in the way angle 1 is made, in the same way angle 2 is made. That is, line L and the transversal. And this angle 1 is above the line which is touching both transversal and the line L. In the same way, angle 2 is also made with the same fashion. That is, it is touching the transversal and that line M. Okay. Similarly, angle 3 and angle 4 are below L and M. 7 and 8 are this side below, and 5 and 6 are to the left above. So that is why we say these are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are always equal if lines are parallel. This is the first point. Second point is, if L is parallel to M, then we have alternate interior angles. Interior angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. Now, what are alternate interior angles? Alternate interior angles are, alternate means one left side, the other right side. Interior means inside. So, alternate interior angles are 7 and 2. They are in the interior part of the lines, 7 and 2. And similarly, we have 3 and 6. Alternate means one to the right of transversal, one to the left of transversal. So, angle 7 is equal to angle 2 and angle 3 is equal to angle 6. These are pair of alternate interior angles. So, these also will be equal when lines are parallel. Third one is, if lines are parallel, then co-interior angles are supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary. The other name of co-interior angles, we can write consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior angles. Then also they are known as allied angles. Allied angles. Now what are co-interior angles or consecutive interior angles? They are also known as interior angles on the same side of transversal. They are also known as interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Now you know what is a transversal. Now this blue line is a transversal. Interior angles on the same side. Now not alternate. They are on the same side. So angle 7 and angle 6. They are consecutive interior angle or they are co-interior angles. And co-interior angles are supplementary whenever lines are parallel. So angle 7 plus angle 6 will be equal to 180 degree. Angle 7 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degree. Similarly, there is one more pair, that is 3 and 2. These 3 and 2 are also on the same side of transversal, the other side of transversal, and they are interior. So interior angles on the same side of transversal is known as consecutive interior angle or co-interior angle or allied angles. So angle 2 and angle 3 also will give, angle 2 plus angle 3 also will give 180 degree. They are not equal. It does not mean that angle 7 and angle 6 will be 90-90 each. The sum of these two angles will be supplementary. Now supplementary means one angle can be 10 degree, the other angle can be 170 degree. Okay. So these are the three properties which we have to mainly use if lines are parallel. If lines are parallel, then we can make use of all of these properties. Okay. Now suppose if you want to prove lines are parallel, suppose if you want to make L is parallel to M, then what you have to do, you have to prove any one of these properties, that is corresponding angles are equal if you can prove, or if you can prove alternate interior angles equal, or if you can prove co-interior angles are supplementary. Any one if you prove, that means your job is done. What is your job? That is line L will be parallel to line M. Understood both the things. If line L is parallel to line M, then you can make use of all these properties. And if you want to prove line L parallel to line M, then you need not prove all the theorems, all the properties. You just have to prove any one. Now suppose if you want to prove, if you can prove sorry, if you can prove angle 1 is equal to angle 2, suppose angle 1 is say 60 degree and angle 2 is also 60 degree, then you can just write angle 1 is 60, angle 2 is 60, but they are also corresponding angles, therefore lines are parallel. In figure 6.28, find the values of x and y and then show that AB is parallel to CD. See, AB is parallel to CD is not given. It is not given. Okay. We have to find the values of x and y and then we have to prove AB is parallel to CD. Now, first of all, you can see the line, this line can be named as say L. Now L is a straight line, you can see over here L is a straight line. Now with the property we have studied yesterday, 50 plus x we can write as 180 because L is a straight line. Mute yourself, somebody has unmuted. Now since L is a straight line, we can write 50 plus x is equal to 180 degree. What is the reason? Linear pair axiom. So from here we can find the value of x, that is 180 minus 50. So x is equal to 130. Now you can also see here in the next part, y and 130 are vertically opposite angles, and you know that vertically opposite angles are equal. So directly we can write without any trouble, y is equal to 130 because of the property vertically opposite angles. Now we have got the values of x and y. Next thing, we have to prove AB parallel to CD. Now just now I told you how to prove two lines parallel. In order to prove two lines parallel, we have to make use of any one of the properties. Now if you watch closely, angle x and angle y, they are equal. Angle x is 130 degree, angle y is also 130 degree. But angle x and angle y are pair of alternate interior angles. Two we can write, from 1 and 2 we can write x is equal to y. But these are a pair of alternate interior angles. Short form you can write. But these are pair of alternate interior angles. Therefore AB is parallel to CD. Understood? In the figure 6.29, this is the figure 6.29, AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD, it is given. And CD is parallel to EF, this is also given. That means these three lines are parallel. And Y is to Z is 3 is to 7. Y is to Z is 3 is to 7. The question is to find X. Okay. So, first of all, we will assume be 3x, we are not assuming 3a, let us say, because x is already there. Z we are assuming as 7a. Okay. So, and it is given in the question, AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF. Okay. Now you forget about the side CD, okay, you forget about it, the line. Now you only concentrate on AB and EF. What is the relation between X and Z? What is the relation between X and Z? Angle X is equal to angle Z by alternate interior angles. Okay. Now we come to your property Rudra. Now you see AB and CD. Now what is the relation between X and Y? X and Y.
Sir, consecutive.
They are consecutive now. Okay. So we can write x plus y is equal to 180 degree by consecutive interior angles. Now x is equal to z. So we can replace this x by z. Z plus y is equal to 180 degrees. Now the value of z is 7a. We can put it here. The value of y is 3a. We can put it here. So we get 10a is equal to 180 degrees. That is, a is equal to 18 degrees. Now what was the question? The question was to find x. So now x, which is actually equal to z, let it be one equation. So we can write from here 1 from 1. And what was z? Z was 7a. So x is equal to 7 into 18. 7 into 18. So what is the answer? 126, no? Okay, the next question is, in figure, AB is parallel to CD. AB and CD are parallel. EF is perpendicular to CD. EF is perpendicular to CD, and angle GED is 126. Angle GED, now you can see angle GED is this angle. This angle is, the whole angle is 126. So it is 126 degree. And since this is 90 degree, so this part is 90. So we can calculate this part. Okay. EE is this angle, AGE. Let's say angle 1. Let's say this is angle 1. Okay. GEF. GEF is this angle. Let's say 2. GEF. This is 2. FGE. FGE is this angle. Let's say it is 3. Let it be 3. Okay. So first of all, we will find that angle 1, and angle 1 how to find, which is very easy. Now once again I'll draw the figure. This is one line, this is another line, and there is one perpendicular, and this is one line. This is 90 degree. Okay, this is 126 degree, and they are asking us this angle. We can write angle 1 is equal to angle GED by alternate interior angle. Why we can write this? We can write this because since AB is parallel to CD, so what is the value of GED? GED is 126. So we got angle 1 over. Now we have to find FEG. We can find that angle 2 we can find. Now how to find angle 2? This is angle 2. Okay, this is angle 2. How to find this angle?
Sir, 126 degree minus 90.
Minus 90 degree. Very good. So angle 2 from figure we can write angle 2 as 126 degree minus 90 degree, which is equal to 36 degree. So we got angle 2 also. Okay. Now angle 1 and angle 3. Angle 1 and angle 3 are equal to 180 degree because of the property linear pair. So since angle 2 was 36. Okay. Since AB is a straight line, what we can write, angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree.
180 degree.
What is the reason? Linear pair axiom. But no, angle 1 we have already 126. So 126 plus angle 3 will be equal to 180 degree. So what will be angle 3? Angle 3 will be 180 minus 126, which will be 54. 54. Now what is the question? In figure 6.31, if PQ is parallel to ST, now this is the PQ, this is PQ is parallel to ST. These two are parallel. And angle PQR is 110 and RST is 130. You have to find QRS. You have to find QRS. Okay. So with this figure we cannot do. That is why they have given a hint. So let us wipe out this hint, although we'll be using that only, but we can do by other process also. I'll show it. Now a valid construction can be done in geometry questions. Valid construction means whatever is possible. So here PQ is parallel to ST. Now with this we cannot find this angle. We are asked to find QRS, this angle, which we cannot find now. For that, what we are doing is we are drawing a parallel line. Let us draw X, Y parallel to PQ, and PQ is already parallel to ST. So this we can write in construction, that is draw X, Y parallel to PQ, and PQ is already parallel to ST. So now what we can do is we can write this angle. Let's say this angle is angle 1, and we can write this angle as angle 2, and this angle which we have to find is angle 3. Ultimate target is to find angle 3. In order to find angle 3, we will find angle 1 and angle 2, and then we will use linear pair axiom. Angle 1 we can easily find because 110 is given and 1 is there. What is the relation between 110 and 1? Because now PQ is parallel to XY.
Consecutive interior angle.
Yes. Who said that?
Ansika.
Okay. It is consecutive interior angles. Any doubt? Because PQ is this, XY is this, and this you can take as QR. This is QR, this is PQ, this is X, Y. So we are talking about this angle and this angle. So these two angles will be consecutive interior angles, that is co-interior angles, and the relation is they will be equal to 180 degrees. So we can write, since PQ is parallel to XY, we can write 110 plus angle 1 is equal to 180 degree. Reason is consecutive interior angles. So what is angle 1? Angle 1 will be equal to 180 minus 110, that is angle 1 is equal to 70 degrees. Now what is the relation between 2 and 130? Similar relation? Similar relation. 130 and
Yes,
2
sir.
are also consecutive. So ST is parallel to XY. You can write angle 2 plus 130 degree is equal to 180 degree. Same reason, that is consecutive interior angles. Okay, so we can write angle 2 as angle 2 is equal to 50 degree. Now we come to the main point, that is we have to find angle QRS, and QRS is angle 3. Now we can use, since XY is a straight line, what we can write? We can say that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 will be equal to 180 degree because of the property linear pair axiom. Now angle 1 is 70 degree, angle 2 is 50 degree, and angle 3 we have to find. So 70 plus 50 is 120. So we can write 120 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree, that is angle 3 is equal to 60 degrees. So angle 3 is 60 degree. PQ and RS are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. An incident ray AB strikes to the mirror PQ at B. See, PQ and RS are mirrors, plane mirrors. AB is incident ray which is striking at B, and it is reflected, and again it is striking the mirror RS at C, and it is again reflected back. You can see the figure. The AB is incident ray, and then BC is reflected ray for PQ, and BC is incident ray for the mirror RS, and CD is the reflected ray for RS. I hope this is clear. The question is prove that AB is parallel to CD. This is what you have to prove. Okay. What is given in this question? What is given here is PQ is parallel to RS, and what you have to prove AB is parallel to CD. Now you might have studied last year in 8th class physics reflection, right? And in reflection you have studied one property, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection.
Reflection.
Right?
Yes,
angle
sir.
of incidence is
Yes,
equal
sir.
to angle of reflection. But angle of incidence and angle of reflection, who determines? What? There is something we called normal. That only divides angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So I am trying to make normal. So these are my normals. Let's say Bx and Cy are the normals. So if they are normals, then I can write this angle, angle 1, and this angle, angle 2. These two angles will be equal because of the property angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
And similarly, I have made Cy normal. I can write this angle 3 and I can write this angle 4, and angle 3 and angle 4 will be equal because again of the same property, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Okay, up to here I think it's clear. Anybody,
Yes,
if
sir.
anybody doubt, you can ask. Now, let Bx and Cy are normals. Now, what is the meaning of normal? Normal means they are 90 degree. Okay. Also, we can write angle 1 is equal to angle 2, and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Please mute yourself. Anybody has unmuted? Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal. Why they are equal? Both of these are equal with the same property, law of reflection. Law of reflection you can write, or you can write angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Any way you can write. Now, again we come to this. This is normal. Normal means this is 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degree. Okay. So this angle is also 90 degree only. Okay. It means that angle, we can theoretically write, since Bx is perpendicular to Rs and Cy is perpendicular to PQ, but PQ is parallel to Rs. So can we write Bx will be parallel to Cy? Can we write Bx parallel to Cy? So since so therefore what we can write, angle 2 is equal to angle 3, alternate interior angles. Now, you know, a property is there. If you have made already the PPT of Euclid's, you might have studied in that. Things which are double of the same thing are equal to one another. If you have not studied also,
Yes.
no problem. See, angle 2 and angle 3 are equal. We can just multiply both side by 2. No problem, still they will be equal. Of angle 2 we can write angle 2 plus angle 2, and twice of angle 3 we can write angle 3 plus angle 3. Now since angle 1 and angle 2 are equal, this angle 2 I am replacing it by angle 1 and second one as it is, and in the same way angle 3, the next angle 3 I am writing it as angle 4. Okay, so what I have proved is angle 1 plus angle 2 is now equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. Now you name angle 1 plus angle 2, or you see the figure. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is this angle, right? What is the name of this angle? The name of this angle is angle ABC. ABC. Now what is the name of angle 3 plus angle 4? This is angle 3 plus angle 4. Angle BCD. So now we have proved the angle ABC is equal to angle BCD. Now if you slightly turn yourself and you see that angle ABC and angle BCD, you have made them equal. Aren't they alternate interior angles? It means that AB is parallel to CD.